Hello and welcome to Dear Diary Let's Knit. My name's Jess and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about all my creative adventures. Usually that is knitting and some quilting or sewing, but occasionally I do take little journeys into other creative areas. So if you've been here before, you know I like to start with my knitting. And then the second half is where I talk about any sewing or quilting or any other creative things I've been doing. So without further ado, Dear Diary, let's knit. All right, it has been a while since I have made a video, quite a while actually, and things have been busy and crazy, but that does mean I have a few finished objects and an almost finished object. So we're gonna start with that. The first finished object I've got is a pair of socks. I love how these little socks turned out for one of my little guys. So let me see, get up close for you. Hopefully you can see that pretty good. I don't know if it focused or not. So this little pair of socks, I did 60 stitches is what I cast on. And I knew that was gonna be a little big for the size of child. So I did a 2x2 rib so that it would just hug in on his foot. And then as he grows, he can just grow into it. I'm trying to think how many, I do not remember how many. I think maybe that it was 50 rows on the top half and then 50 rows on the bottom half before the toe. But I can't guarantee that. And my little guy asked for a pair of socks. And so I just went into my scrap bag and I pulled out these two colors and I absolutely love how they look together. This top one, the cuff, heel, and toe, is Madeline Tosh Light Twist. It is the colorway Thunderstorm. And I had made a pair of socks with it before, so it was just a scrap yarn from that. And then this one, this stripy one, with these cute micro stripes, that is actually a Hobby Lobby yarn, and it is 100% merino, so it's not actually a sock yarn, but I'm hoping since the toe and the heel are both sock yarn with that nylon in it, it'll help the little socks hold up better. But this yarn, I had made a pair of fingerless mitts with it, but when I had used it, I had held the yarn double. So it was kind of really fun to see these little stripes start to work up, because when I was holding it double, of course, it was just a lot more, not splotchy, but you know, the color was just distributed all over the place. So seeing it work up in these little stripes was so much fun. And he absolutely loves them. It's starting to warm up now, but when I finished them about a month ago, he wore them nonstop all the time. So he loves them. He calls them his comfy soft socks. So that was the first finished object. And the next one, of course, once I finished these.
Mommy, I want to do other movie too.
Okay, just a second.
No, I don't. I need to move. I don't. What's your next one?
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. Okay, once I finished these, my other little guy, of course, needed a pair too. So I had a ball of sock yarn that I had bought last summer, but I hadn't used it at all. So I pulled that out and did a pair for him. And oh, sun's going behind a cloud.
Mommy,
Hopefully it's okay.
You.
You need me? All right. Okay, so as soon as I finished these ones, my other little guy needed a pair of socks too. So I
did see it.
Oh, okay. Is that okay? So I pulled out a pair, just a sock yarn that I had in my box, and it was a Cascade Heritage, and I think the colorway, it has something to do with Riviera, maybe a heathered Riviera. I'll put the name down here if I can't think of it. And I currently cannot find it. I can't find them. I'm sure they're just in somebody else's laundry basket, but I'll put a picture up here or here, wherever there's room for you to see. I do have the yarn though. It is in my scrappy. Oh, it's hooked to my scrappy blanket. So this is the Heathered Riviera, I think, by Cascade Heritage. It's really pretty. It's got a lot of like flecks of green, not flecks because it's heathered. So it's a heathered green and this turquoise blue, super pretty. I'll show you that blanket in a second, but I just did the exact same thing as these socks. I made them the exact same size, the 60 stitches, and then did them again in the 2x2 ribs. So they have a lot of room to grow, but still just hug their little tiny feet. So those are my two finished sock projects. And since I have this yarn out, it's not a finished project, but I'll show you my scrappy blanket and how that's going. So this is all my sock yarns that are like pink, purple, or blue. So it's a scrappy blanket, but a very curated scrappy. And then I'm also holding it together, all my scraps together with just a white Cascade Heritage fingering weight yarn. So this is going to be a massive blanket when I cast it on. I wasn't counting and I ended up with 399 stitches. If I was counting, I would have just done 400. But this is currently what it looks like. There you go. It is very scrunched up on this needle, and this is a 40 inch, perhaps 60 inch maybe, I don't know, but it's so squishy and I like working on it. I think I started it like a year ago, so it's definitely gonna take plenty of time to finish, but it's fun to work on. It's just garter stitch, so knitting back and forth and doing all my scraps. I do have so the way I do it, I have my bag of blue, purple, and pink scraps in here. And then I also have, it's in there somewhere. Sorry, that's crinkly. A dice. Singular is die. It just sounds weird. I have a die. And so each time I switch colors, I roll it and see how many rows I end up doing. So each time I counted as down and back as one row. So if I roll a 6, I'm gonna go down and back 6 times. Which this one's a 6, and then we've got a 2 and a 1, and it just kind of keeps it that fun scrappy feel without me having to overthink how many rows to do. And then I'll reuse the colors throughout as the blanket goes until they're gone. But there you go. That's my squishy scrappy blankie. Next finished object. And I am so excited about this one. I absolutely love it. This is it's a gift knit for my sister-in-law. She just had a baby and we are going to see them this weekend and I'm so excited. But while she was pregnant, she is an incredible crocheter. Amazing. And I can crochet, but I knit. I am much better at knitting. And she's an incredible crocheter and she can knit, but she does mostly crochet. So she was talking while she was pregnant, we were talking about knitting, and she said that her dream knit is to have a Weasley sweater. She said she wants to learn to knit really good just so she can make herself a Weasley sweater. So of course, I had to make her little guy a Weasley sweater. It is so cute. I started this, there's ends, but I started this, it had to be the beginning of March because I was waiting till the baby was born to make sure that I had the right initial on the sweater. So it had to be the beginning of March. So this I've worked on just throughout this last month. And I love how it turned out. It's got the cute letter, got this cute button detail. Very helpful to get it over babies' heads. So let me tell you first about the yarn. This is it is Hobby Lobby yarn. I am a big fan of acrylic yarn for babies and little kids. I have a number of children and all I want to be able to do is throw their clothes in the washer and not worry about them. And they're soft and they're just easy to care for. So this is Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee. It's called Rustic Romantic. And for this, I used the colorways Red Rhodes, and then this yellow golden color, I think it's called Oaky Wheat. Yeah, it is super soft yarn. It's, let me see, 85% acrylic and 15% hemp. So, show you the label there. It's really soft, machine washable, easy to work with. It is a worsted weight. Yeah. I can't find it on here, but I'm sure it is. It is. And then the pattern I used is called the Baby and Toddler Initial Sweater by Samantha Turner. It was a fantastic sweater. It's knit flat because it's got the intarsia knitting across it. And so it's knit flat, and then you seam everything together. This was my first time ever doing intarsia color work, and that was definitely, it was really fun, but it was a learning curve because you've got all these balls of yarn and I'll show some pictures or videos if I have them. I'm pretty sure I have pictures, maybe videos of while I was knitting this. And you've got to get used to managing all those different colors, but it was so much fun. And of course, because it's a baby sweater in worsted weight, it went really quick. I did the size 18 month because I want it to fit him next year. And I have no idea what size he'll be next year. So I was gonna make the 12 month, but I'm like, I didn't want it to be too small. I figure babies are always cute in sweaters that are a little too big. They're adorable on babies. But a sweater that's too small just doesn't work. So I call this a finished object. Ready for this? Those are all the ends I still have to weave in. It is like a jumbled mess of threads because of the intarsia knitting. So, like I said, we get to go see the baby this weekend. It is a 3-hour drive from where we live. So I'm not hoping, my plan is to weave in ends on the drive. That is going to be my drive project, is weaving in all those ends. But besides all the ends, it was such a fun sweater to make. I did use the exact needles called for in this pattern. Oops. And so I think it's a size 8 needle. Let me see. Okay, so a size 6 for the ribbing, cuffs, and neck, and then a size 8 for the body. And the only size 8 I had was bamboo, just like the clover bamboo from Joann's. And I have to say, I think those are the absolute best needles to learn how to knit on. That being said, I much prefer my metal needles now. And that was the only needle I had, was the bamboo. And so I felt, because they're so grippy, I felt like I was having to wrestle the yarn across the needle through the whole project. It was fine because it's a baby sweater. But I think if I were using a size 8 for a full-size adult sweater, I would most definitely get some Chiagu metal needles to just make it easier, because my hands, like, they didn't love long periods of knitting.
Mom.
Going good?
Yeah.
Great. They didn't love long periods of knitting on the bamboo needles. So I would definitely, if I was making a bigger sweater in size 8 needles, buy a new pair. But that is the little Weasley sweater. And by the time this video is out, I will have already gifted this. But I love it so much. It's so cute. So that is I did just finish this. I mean, besides weaving in the ends, I just finished this on Sunday. And today is Tuesday. So brand newly complete. And then my next project, the one I have been working on since August, which I believe that makes this like 8 months. This has been my behind the scenes project for 8 months. And it is my Oakford Cardigan by Martin Story. And I have made so much progress. I'm so excited. It does not look like much right now, but it is currently started to be seamed together. I have all the raglans sewn together and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to wear this. I've hit the point that every now and then I keep putting on outfits and thinking, oh my gosh, my cardigan would be so cute with this outfit. But my cardigan's not done, so I can't wear it. But I did get the arms, the raglan seams done, and then yesterday I got the collar knit. So I'm gonna like cloak it over myself so you can see, because why not? Ooh, sorry. Kind of hard to put on a half sewn cardigan, but I've got an arm, I've got the collar, another arm. It's starting to look like a cardigan. So, things about this cardigan. I don't know why, but do you see how this button band is like perfectly flat? And this one does some weird wavy stuff. Like, I'm not sure what's going on there. Hopefully it'll block out flat, because this side turned out flat. I don't know why this side didn't. I don't know if I did something different on it, but hopefully it blocks out. I did get the sleeves sewn on Sunday. It was a very good day for seaming things, because this is my first ever seamed project. And I'm kind of really glad I seamed this one before this one. Because even though I seamed them both on Sunday. But I did this one first and then this one. And I'm glad I did, because it's just basic stockinette. And so it was really easy to see like where I was picking up and doing the mattress stitch. Whereas this one is very textured, and so these raglans were a little trickier to see what I was doing, but since I'd just done it on that one, it was a lot easier to figure out. I did knit the arms on this 2 at a time, and I was going to do this front part 2 at a time, but I didn't. And half of me wishes I did, and half of me thinks, yeah, it's probably good I didn't, because they are different. I don't know exactly how I did it, but when I got to the top here, like everything looked like it was matching perfectly. But when I got to the top, this one, I had only gone halfway through this last triangle. And so I just kind of knit the rest without decreases. So they don't match exactly. And if I had have knit them 2 at a time, then I would have been able to guarantee they matched perfectly. But in the pattern, which it's by Martin Story, if I didn't say that, Oakford Cardigan by Martin Story. In the pattern, it doesn't tell you how far apart to put your buttons or anything, your buttonholes. Little buttonhole there. All it says is it tells you to knit this panel, figure out where you want your buttons, and then like put them where you want them. So these are the marks from the last 2 buttons I did, and then the buttonholes correspond on this side. So if I'd done them 2 at a time, that would have been a little trickier to figure out where, like the spreading the buttons part, that would have been trickier to figure out. Also, I'm glad I didn't, because I knit this whole side and then I got going on this side and I decided I wanted the cables to twist the other way. So in the pattern, all the cables twist this way. So even on this side, they were twisting this way, but I decided I wanted to twist opposite. So these ones twist this way and these ones twist this way, which again, if I'd been doing them 2 at a time, I probably wouldn't have thought about that till it was too late. So I do like that they twist separately. So my plan right now, all I have left to do is sew up the sides and down the arms and then block it, add my buttons, and I think I have my buttons right here. I'll show you. Maybe I'll show you. Yes, okay. So I am gonna do just coconut buttons. Let's see. So, like, I don't know if you can see that actually. There we go. Kind of be like that. Oh, it's warm. It's a warm cardigan. I hope I get to wear it this weekend. It's supposed to have a bit of a cold spell this weekend. And normally I don't love those at spring, but I've been working on this for 8 months and I really hope it's cold so I can wear it. But here you go. Hopefully you could see that. Anyways, that is the progress on my Oakford cardigan, which I'm really excited to get this done. Seaming up the sides, hopefully today. We'll see. And then hopefully I'll be able to get it blocked and maybe I can like weave in the ends on the way down or sew in the buttons once I finish the ends on the Weasley sweater. So that is this, and it looks weird like that. I'm showing you a weird part of it. Let's see if we can show it normal and cute. There we go. All right. I did get some yarn for my birthday in February. You know what? I'm gonna go grab it. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So I did get some yarn for my birthday back in February. It is Tin Lena by Sadness Garn. Oh. Okay, it doesn't tell me a colorway. I am guessing this colorway is 6061. And this one is 3820. And I think on the website it had names, but I cannot remember them. So if it did have a name, I'll put it here. Otherwise, those are the numbers on them. Yeah, so Tin Lena, it is a fingering weight yarn, and it is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. So it's really soft and lightweight, and I really like that. So let me show you up close. Okay, hopefully you saw that. Super pretty. And I am going to be doing a Tulsta tee by Rebecca Clow. So this is my knit up swatch. It is very lightweight. It's very drapey. And I love that. If you watched my Everything I Knit in 2023 video, you'll see that I have made a Tulsta tee before. It was the DK weight version, and I love it for certain ways, but there's a lot of things I don't love about it. It was the DK weight version, 100% cotton. It felt very heavy to me and thick. It also, I didn't swatch, it ended up a little too small, and then I didn't knit it long enough, and so then it just felt really too short. Great pattern, but I really want to do a retry. So I am going to be doing it in this with the stripes this way, not this way, but do cute, the kind of that petrol blue color with the cream stripes. So this is going to be my project that I start as soon as I finish my cardigan. I also, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting all my stuff. I also have a pair of socks going right now. And I took them to the library today, so I'm guessing they're back in the library box with my kids' books. So just 1 second and I'll get them. Okay, they were back there. It's like right behind the couch on that shelf. We have a little box that has all the library books in it. So that's why I was pointing at the wall. But I also got this sock yarn for my birthday. There we go. It is, well, let me show you first. It is Leading Men Fiber Arts. And this one is Sparkle Sock, colorway Wilderness. It's a fingering weight, 75 superwash merino, 20% nylon, and then 5% lurex, L-U-R-E-X. So when I saw this online, I did not realize it was so sparkly. Like, I thought it was going to be like the ones that have tinsel in them, that it's just kind of there. You don't notice it as much, but this one, it is actually, I don't know if you could tell from close up, but the silver is literally like wrapped around the yarn. So let me see. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about, but the silver sparkle is wrapped around the strand of yarn. So it definitely was way sparklier than I thought it was going to be, which is totally okay. It makes it fun. I'm totally fine with that. But I am doing a pair of the Hermione everyday socks. Kind of. I do my own cuff and heel. I do the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and then this is just a 2x2 ribbed cuff. So it is kind of the Hermione everyday sock. I'm using the pattern for it, but not the cuff or the heel for it. And this is, I do 64 for me. These will be for me. It's been about a year since I made myself a pair of socks, so these are for me. And it's 64 around, and then 20 rows for the cuff, and then 70 for the heel, the leg. If I can get the parts of a sock right. Cuff, leg, Fish Lips Kiss heel, and then the foot, for me, I do about 70 rows of the pattern, and then I do 5 rows of just stockinette stitch before I start my decreases. So that is this one. And this one is the one I was working on today at the library, and I just have a cuff. In fact, that is the whole cuff, and now I'm ready to start the leg. So that is all my knitting right now, and kind of a catch up for the last month and a half. And the only other thing I have right now was sewing. And if you saw my last podcast, I was talking about a dress that my daughter had designed herself. She had these ideas, and then, like, she told me she wanted ruffly sleeves. She told me she wanted it purple, and she wanted 3 like ruffle layers, and then a basic top. So I did get that finished. I'm gonna zip it up. She wore it, and so it is not currently clean, and you can see that she kind of got some dribbles on it, but it is done. It's done.
Mom,
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Look.
Okay, just a minute. Okay. It is done. I'll put a picture up. It's super cute. Fits her great. She loves it. She was deciding if she wants to get like, yeah, sorry, it needs washed, but a ribbon to go across the waistband. And she wasn't sure if she wants to or not. So we may still get a ribbon and like tie a cute bow in the back, or we may not, depending on how she feels. So that is the finished dress. It is chiffon.
Mommy.
Outside, yes.
We see baby teddy.
Yes. Chiffon layers for the outside, and then the lining I did is just 100% cotton. What else is there to say? It had been quite a while since I had done any like fully lined garments. And if you've ever done a fully lined garment, the sleeve area always, it's very much a trust the process kind of situation. So again, it's wrinkly, but I've got it fully lined on the inside, sewn along the sleeve so that it's all enclosed, no raw edges anywhere. But it definitely, I did have to, it's been probably 10 years since I've done like a fully lined little dress. So I definitely had to pull up a YouTube video just to remind myself, okay, yeah, this is right. Trust the process. It will work to line the sleeves this way. But it turned out great. I have in the back just a white invisible zipper. You can, if I pull it apart, you can see it. But yeah, she loves it, and it turned out really cute. So that is everything I have. If you do not know, we are in the process of moving. So we're currently getting our house all ready to list and packing everything up. So all my sewing stuff has already started getting packed up. So I will not have sewing for probably at least a few months. I won't be doing any sewing or quilting. But it is nice that yarn is small, so I get to keep my little bags of yarn out so I can still knit. So I'll definitely be knitting, but maybe not quite as much because the house is in chaos. And yeah, so we've got a lot of things going on. So we'll see how much gets done. It's been really nice though to be able to just sit down and wind down with my yarn for a little bit, take some breathers. And yeah, that is all that's going on here. If you enjoyed this, definitely make sure you like and subscribe so that you know next time I post. Like I said, things are crazy, and so I am not posting regularly. When I do find a minute, I'll post, but make sure you subscribe so that you're notified when I post a new video. And thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great day. Bye.